Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Business Incorporated, coming to you live from our Lagos studios. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwago. On the show today, Zimbabwe removes requirement for foreign mines to list locally. Kenya launches pilot oil export scheme via Mombasa. Plus, South Africa to open bidding round for green energy contracts in November. Let's start off the show with the markets, and starting off with trading day in Africa and here in Nigeria. The stock market showed some sign of recovery at intraday after weeks of bearish trading. The index was up 0.03%. The South African JSE index was also up 1.41%, but Egypt lagged, dropping 0.34%. Kenya closed down on Friday 0.39%. In the Middle East, all the markets traded in the positive direction, with Qatar outperforming its peers. The Qatari index was up 2.09%. Abu Dhabi was up 0.24%, Dubai up 1.59%, and Saudi Arabia was up 0.77%. And in Europe, markets were higher in early trade amid a slew of corporate news. For details of that and more, I'm being joined by my colleague in Frankfurt, Barths. Hello, Ulrich. Good afternoon. Good to see you again. A beautiful week to you.
Thank you. Great to see you.
All right, the trade policy conflict of U.S. President Trump is worsening economic conflict with the European Union. Are there opinions that Europe may be warming towards Putin's Russia as an alternative trade partner, even as Gazprom marks 50 years of gas exports to Europe this week in Vienna?
Yes, that anniversary certainly shows how important Russia is still to the Germans, and basically also as a trading partner for many in the European Union as well. Germany gets so much of its natural gas from Russia. And there is debate among major parties, for example, like the Social Democrats and the CDU members there, stressing how important it is to maintain and perhaps even improve relations with Russia, despite sanctions out there. But officially, yet in Germany, there is no talk and no directive to say, you know, dump Trump, the United States is making trouble, let's move in with Russia, because there are still reasons for the sanctions, as the people in charge here see. So I don't think that there's a concerted effort ahead to get closer, but certainly there's talk of that, and we'll have to wait and see how relations with the United States develop. Whether there's any more drive behind that. Always in the mix is China as well, perhaps moving in to take up some of the slack that maybe the United States would provide. But, you know, there's so many people here in Germany still, and people in the government, people in charge in the corporate world, who say we have a special relationship with the United States. We owe so much to them. They're economically and politically still our major partners.
Okay, we'll wait and see. Now let's look at some corporate news there. What is driving UniCredit merger plans with Societe Generale? And if this corporate wedlock happens, would it be a game changer on the European banking landscape?
It could very well be, because, of course, two giants would be moving together. Giants, having said that, in a European context, of course, American banks are much bigger and much more successful. But, of course, this is also part of the move behind merger talk, because they do want to play more of a role internationally. And, of course, with Europe the way it is, it makes maybe some sense to the people in charge there in Paris and in Milan to move closer together. They haven't confirmed it officially so far. It's still a report by the Financial Times. But, you know, there's a kind of a tongue-in-cheek comment by Societe Generale, which says none of our executives, none of our top people are talking about a merger like this. And you can read into that, but perhaps some other people in the company have been put in charge with working out the numbers, working out some details, checking it out whether it's a viable option. And certainly from the point of view of looking at it, it said that UniCredit would profit from Société Générale, from its investment banking, for example, and Société Générale would profit from UniCredit's market presence, not least in Italy, but also in Germany. Maybe not many people know this, but one of our major banks, the Hypovereinsbank, which used to also be listed here in the market, no more. UniCredit is the owner. It's one of the biggest corporate and private clients banks in Germany.
And in another major deal, the Frankfurt Zeitung newspaper reported on Sunday that the Bayer Monsanto's $63 billion deal would close on Thursday this week. Flesh the story up for us.
It is going to close on Thursday this week. I can update you on that because the CEO, Werner Baumann, has now confirmed that. By that time, he sees the deal closed, and so closed that he's already saying that the name Monsanto will disappear then. And the whole company, the whole huge agrochemical #1 in the world, it will be then will go under the name of Bayer. What they still have to do is find some money. They're going to sell shares to the tune of some 6 billion euros, and that's to conclude the financing of it. They've already sold units also because of a cartel obligation. That has brought in billions, and they've used cash that they've had itself. So basically it's financed now. They're hoping, of course, that it's smooth sailing, that no suits are filed for damages in connection with the glyphosate, chemical that Monsanto uses in a product, and that it's smooth sailing, that they indeed will make this huge takeover. So you mentioned it, $63 billion payoff. It's the largest single takeover by any single German company so far in history.
Well, I guess, Ulrich, we'll have to wait till Thursday to see what this deal turns out to be. Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of the day.